Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. We're going to be talking about a Star Citizen Alpha 3.24 state of the game today. It's got some big issues, and I want to talk about some of those because, yeah, there was a load of sort of live service disruptions over the last few days, at least at the launch of 3.24 live, including things like game chat and cargo hauling missions just not working. There have been loads of hotfixes for a load of these problems, and the patch is in a significantly better state, but there are a load of issues still with it. So yeah, they deployed two sets of sort of hotfixes, or at least big sets of hotfixes over the last couple of days, and some other minor ones here and there. There wasn't a wipe or anything with these hotfix deployments as well. CIG saying these hotfixes will not even affect your non-long-term persistence items in-game, so you're not even going to lose rentals, consumables, refinery jobs, your character data, your hangar customization, home locations, stuff like that, which is great to hear. So on the 31st of August, they had a load of hotfixes. Some of the stuff that got fixed was PvE bounty mission markers should now be showing. Elevator buttons should now be functioning again at Horizon and space stations, although the grey panel issue has a fix internally. It wasn't deployed with that hotfix. Harvestables at Klesha were giving 1 merit per harvestable instead of the actual value that they are supposed to have for their type. You can now sell Copian Horn and Marek gems again. Sell orders should now be working and not pending forever. Players should now be charged the appropriate auto-loading fee if you're having your cargo loaded across. And they fixed a load of hybrid service crashes. And then there was another big deployment of hotfixes on the 2nd of September with the patch notes here saying they had fixed mission cargo crates not appearing in kiosks at pickup locations. After spawning, pressing F would trap players in beds as well, which was super annoying, but that doesn't happen anymore. At least it's not supposed to happen. And load of the store all containers could be retrieved from inventory access, even if they were too big, because it's only supposed to be smaller items from those kiosks that you can have access to. A load of other little things seem to have been fixed as well with that patch. But yeah, all those sort of things are now fixed, or mostly fixed, that we mentioned. I love that CIG have been working over the weekend again to get these patches in at least a better shape, but it's also partly because they had pushed out a patch with some frustrating issues. Some of those issues may have only been exposed during a live deployment though. The game is an alpha for a reason. The patch does have some massive updates with cargo and commodity physicalization, removal of global inventory, manual loading and unloading, hauling missions, freight elevators, the new dynamic event which they haven't run on the servers yet, the blockade runner missions, which is the evolution of the Nine Tails lockdown. However, even though the patch is in a much better state than it was when it first launched, players are still having account-breaking and game-breaking issues, with some players requiring to do character resets and repairs. Also, there's a cooldown on doing these character resets for like 24 hours. With some of these problems being regularly encountered by players, that is not ideal. So I want to go over some of these known issues and, yeah, highlight some. I will put an expanded list of the known issues and workarounds down below, along with the patch notes, because I think that's sort of important. Players can go, I'm experiencing this, is there a workaround, or what can I expect to see or encounter that could break my game, and how can I avoid that? But yeah, I do think that sort of stuff's important. So, server crash recovery, that currently removes all mission markers and marks them as abandoned. That will be solved in an upcoming refactor, although I don't have a date on that. They did say that these sort of problems won't reduce reputation when it occurs, so that's good. There are loads of problems with the Vulkan renderer at the moment as well, so bear that in mind. If you're encountering issues, then send it back to DirectX. Players are having problems retrieving ships from ASOP terminals sometimes. Shuttles and trams for landing zones can disappear after server recovery. Obviously, if you're on them at the time, that could be a trip to hospital for you. Hull C has a load of problems as well, sort of things like loading. Only one box will load, and then the rest of them will stop if it's for like mission boxes. Client frame rates can drop to single digits at ArcCorp mining area 157 on Yella, and apparently some other places. Players are still able to reaccept the intro cargo missions despite not being eligible for them. There are noticeable streaming issues on the exterior geometry of freight elevators in some places. There's a noticeable delay in loading the player's persistent hangars in some cases. Players can be sent back to Klesha, the prison, after completing the sort of prison escape mission. If you've used multiple tractor beams on an object, you can get it to float without tractor beams then being on it. There is a chance that the HAB elevators don't arrive when called. And looking a bit deeper into the build, there are a load of other issues that aren't listed in the patch notes. So ships may be randomly exploding at low altitude or entering atmosphere. There are no vehicle inventories. Players can get kicked out of hangars. So like if you're partied with someone, you're supposed to be able to go into the hangar, but you can get kicked out even though you're supposed to be able to be there. You can get repeatedly teleported back to hospital, which is really annoying. There are just a load of broken elevator bugs, especially like high traffic spaceports and panels not working, sort of like elevators just not showing up, stuff like that. Weapons and multi-tools sometimes don't function. Inventories can break, like moving items too slowly can cause the sort of movement to not work. Kiosks can just not display the items that you've got. There are various specific ship issues as well. NPCs, they can just not spawn properly, or just stop moving. That's probably been one of the most consistent and annoying problems with Star Citizen. That and the not being able to spawn ships from the ASOP terminal. That's either sort of like server degradation, a disconnect on the sort of background services and databases, stuff like that. Now, hopefully, some of those issues will be getting solved within the next week or so, because some of them are pretty major. Now, a lot of them are relatively inconsistent. That's better than, I suppose, happening all of the time, but still not ideal, right? And some players having a great time. Like, genuinely, especially if you are playing on a lower traffic server, you're going to have a better experience because you don't seem to get sort of degradation problems that a lot of people are experiencing. Some people are going to be having a terrible time. It's a mixed bag. There are going to be more hotfixes and updates in the coming weeks, though. The other thing is 4.0 server meshing. It's not a silver bullet, but after some teething issues and optimization with 4.0 and server meshing and those network updates that are going to be there as well, I do expect that some of these issues, especially things with AI and NPC derpiness, some like instability issues and like ships not spawning, the connections with databases and stuff like that, they should hopefully become a thing of the past or happen significantly less. But there may well be some newer, more higher tech problems that sort of then turn up after 4.0. But Star Citizen, they are marching towards a 1.0 commercial release. They're going to start talking more and more about this in the coming weeks and months. I do expect that's going to be one of the things they talk a lot about at CitizenCon. Also, I do want to say the stuff they've put into 3.24, it is a lot of stuff on the back end, the way that cargo works, and a lot of the stuff they've got now ready for server meshing. It's had a load of knock-on effects that have caused a load of bugs, so they are sort of ironing them out. We should hopefully see 4.0 go into either Kali testing or tech preview testing in the next few weeks as well. That's what my expectation is, but I'm really interested to know what you think. What's your experience with Alpha 3.24? You having a great time? You having a terrible time? Do you think CIG are going to get it into a much better state? What do you think of the current progress of development and patch releases? When do you think 4.0 is going to be in our hands? Whatever your thoughts or questions, please chuck them in the comments below. Also, Tobii eye trackers, they are on sale at the moment, so check out the links down below for that if you want some natively supported high precision head and eye tracking in Star Citizen. Then check those out. It works for other games as well. There's a load of other cool features. Check them out. What's in the box? That is what Pandora asked. She was told not to open that box, but she did. The internet is like Pandora's box, full of the chaos of the world. And Pandora basically opened an email attachment asking to help a millionaire prince move money around. Bam! It was Medusa all along. You've turned to stone. Foolish! You should know your Greek mythology. What's not foolish is nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. NordVPN is potentially one of the greatest Greek mythological heroes. It helps protect you from the terrors of the internet, helping you be more secure and private, while also giving you great accessibility. You can use my links down below to get NordVPN cheap. September, we've got a giveaway. Every month we have a ship giveaway, and this month is no different. We're giving away 5 ships this month. Actually, that is a bit different. That's 4 more than normal. We're going to give each of them to a different winner. We've got a Nomad, an X1, a Sulen, a Mustang Alpha, and a 100i. They all come with access to the game, and lifetime insurance. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning any of those is comment on any of my videos made during the month on YouTube. I want to say a massive thank you to all our patrons and channel members. Your support allows us to make daily content. You are the best. And you should consider joining them by clicking the join button under my videos. It goes a long way in helping us, as does commenting, sharing videos, liking, all of that jazz. You do not have to chuck money at us, but if you want to, I'm not going to stop you. Thanks for watching and have a great September.